Welcome back. Well, divorce not only takes an emotional toll on women, but they can suffer financial turmoil as well.
Today, a group that wants to revolutionize the divorce process and post-divorce support specifically for women. And joining us now is Rhonda Noordyk. She is the Women's Financial Wellness Center. She's with that group along with Phil Dahlberg with the Dahlberg Law Group. Welcome, both of you, so much.
Thanks for having us.
I think there's so many different things. We talked about the emotional part of going through a divorce, but there's also a lot of other questions that have to do with finances, taxes, kids, placement, custody, all of those things. Is this an effort to try to make it easier for someone who, especially for people who kind of suddenly find themselves or unexpectedly find themselves going through this process?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we see is really their fear of all the unknowns, all those what-if questions that overwhelm them. Yeah, and we want to be able to help create this team and rally around them and help them through this process.
Do you think that's the biggest challenge, is the what-ifs?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about this workshop that you have? It's called New Beginnings, and I think, for someone who's going through something like a divorce, that's a very hopeful word.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the workshop actually started about 5 years ago in the kitchen of one of my good friends who had lost her spouse. And she had some friends that were also going through a divorce, and we rallied in her kitchen, and I said, what do you need? What's working? What's not? Where are the gaps? And I developed this workshop, and we've been doing this workshop every year since. We have a class schedule, consistently offering new classes that are starting. But it's been really, really great to see the paradigm shifts for these women. Our goal with the workshop really is to bring in experts to help educate and empower them and help them make good decisions moving forward.
So why are you part of this?
Well, we work with a lot of people too, going through divorce, and as an attorney helping people out through the process, we really get bogged down in the legalities, the legal issues, property division, maintenance, support. But there's a major disconnect between, I think, the legal issues and some of the financial realities of actually going through the process and moving on with your life. So Rhonda and her practices really help fill that void.
Yeah. And it really is a paradigm shift, as you said. Like that. What are the shifts that a woman has to make when she's going through a divorce like this?
I think it's her attitudes and beliefs about money. Helping her to, once we can help her to think about money, we've now empowered her. To know what questions to ask and to feel more confident asking those questions. And sometimes we'll even give them what questions to ask when you're interviewing an attorney or a CPA or a financial person.
What about challenges? What do you see as being the biggest challenges for women who are going through or soon to be going through a divorce?
Fear of the, like what Ron was saying earlier, fear of the unknown. In our world, fear of the process, not understanding, when are they going to get from point A to point B. In terms of shifting the paradigm, to pick up on Leroy Butler here, we like to say, tip the playing field in your favor. Arm yourself with knowledge. That's how you shift the power,
Ask the questions.
Ask the questions.
Give advice, right? Read up on it. See what you can do to put yourself in a position to be stable and secure, right?
No decision is a good decision unless it's an informed decision. And you really have to understand, you have to look ahead and understand what the outcome is going to be before you can ask those questions and make those decisions to get to the outcome that you want.
Well, I can imagine that a lot of people just sort of feel paralyzed in that moment of realizing that a divorce is imminent, and just trying to figure out what are those next steps. So they do the workshop, then what are the steps after that? Do you have support after the fact as well?
Yeah. We're always doing different events that they can stay plugged into. We do financial coaching with them. We also connect them with a team of financial wellness experts, so depending on what they tell us is really important to them, we can connect them. But then we also have a closed Facebook group, and that's been really cool to see the community that's being built with these women. They can support each other. Here's women that in the midst of really challenging times want to advocate and support other women. And it's just pretty incredible to see that.
When as you two are sitting here, I think about so often we have healthcare providers here talking about a multidisciplinary approach. But for you as an attorney to work with other experts to help someone, it's kind of like that idea of treating the whole person.
It's kind of a global, process, and that's something we've actually done some focus groups. And one thing that we learned from people that have gone through the process was, my lawyer didn't tell me that I should have changed my estate planning, or they didn't tell me that this would have this sort of accounting consequence. So that is really, really significant, I think, when you're, when someone is transitioning from a marriage to, the world by themselves financially. So it's been a very, very effective process.
And I can imagine just even going through the divorce, having some advice about what to ask for, what to get in the process, how to make things so that after it's all said and done, you're not depleted.
Yeah.
Important to have that. There's information for these workshops coming up. It's a 3-part New Beginnings workshop beginning Friday, February 19th. If you're new to being single, you may want to consider attending it. It's the Women's Financial Wellness Center. Their website is just that, womensfinancialwellnesscenter.com. If you mention the Morning Blend, you can get a $100 scholarship towards the workshop. You should RSVP. Call them at this number. Here's where you can find out all the information about the workshop. It's 262-522-1502. You can rewatch this on our website. And for specific legal advice, you can call the Dahlberg Law Group, and that's 262-677-8999. Thanks so much for being here, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, so far, our season's at 29.1 inches. 33.7 is where we should be, so that puts us at a deficit of about 4.6 inches. Yeah, today, we finally got up to freezing, 32 degrees after that 13 for a high on Saturday. But our temperatures, after a little bit of a dip down to 27 tomorrow, will be up to 37 Thursday and 50 with rain on Friday. And the clouds are still around, even a couple of flurries being reported, but nothing like the snow that was around earlier today. 30 in Milwaukee and Waukesha, West Bend, and Sheboygan. 31 still in Fond du Lac, where the clouds are thinning out. 24 down in Lake Geneva. The winds are very, very light right now, so nothing as far as feels like or wind chill temperatures to talk about. Your overnight lows drop to about 21 in Milwaukee. The clouds will be slowly diminishing from west to east, so we could see some temperatures drop into the upper teens overnight tonight inland. And you can see on our radar, going back a few hours, we're going to see that late afternoon, early evening snow, but that's out of the picture as we stop the radar. A couple little blips on the radar, which are just a couple of flurries. Clouds, they're starting to break up. Check it out. We had the satellite, and you can see the clouds breaking up across north central Wisconsin. That area of clearing will be in here by the morning hours. Our computer model is showing a cold front that caused a little bit of the light snow. That's through in the morning hours. We're going to see a little sunshine off and on through the day tomorrow. This high pressure system moves out of the picture, making way for a big low pressure system. This is a strong low, which is going to have some very strong southerly winds. And by Thursday night, it's dragging this warm front right at us. That front passes through by Friday morning, and that's why we see temperatures basically in the 50s with rain showers on Friday. Tonight, mostly cloudy early, partly cloudy later on. 17 inland, northwest winds 5 to 10, about 21. Closer to Lake Michigan. For tomorrow, we'll see sunshine off and on. Colder air, but not too bad for this time of the year. North winds in 27 degrees. Clouds come back in. On Thursday, those winds come back out of the south, strong from the southeast, and we get up to 37 degrees. That's just the beginning. Check out Friday, 50 degrees with scattered showers through the area. Saturday, not bad. Also with some sunshine and 45. 40 still on Sunday with a little bit of sunshine. Still seasonal into Monday and Tuesday. In the morning up.
You attend, it is primary election night with a major stunner in a key race.
And that race is the Milwaukee County Executive's race. No landslide win here for Chris Abley. State Senator Chris Larson gives Abley a good run. Right now, a little more than 30 votes separate the two.
We have team coverage tonight of this very close race. Jermont Terry with Chris Abley in Greenfield. Katie Crowther on the north side with Chris Larson's family.
But we start with Charles Benson, who is spearheading our coverage from Mayor Barrett's watch party on Milwaukee's south side.
And Charles, we did not expect this race to be as close as it's turning out to be.
Well, a close night for the mayor's race as well as the county executive race. The mayor says he's happy with the results. He now moves on to the second round and will take on Bob Donovan. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But first, the political story everyone is talking about is the county executive race. Very, very close election. I want to send it over to my colleague, Jermont Terry, who's with Chris Abley. Jermont.
Yes, Charles, incumbent Chris Abley talked to a very energetic crowd here tonight, despite that very close race. Abley says what he accomplished in the past 4 years while in office. He talks about improving mental health services and eliminating the county debt separate him from his opponent, Chris Larson. Now, Abley spent just over $1 million and for this primary elections. His TV ad started running in the summer of 2015, and despite that, he says he knew this would be a close race.
We expected a tight race all the way through. I don't take anything for granted. All those of you who work with me know that. Both his campaign and the Working Families Party have put out a lot of pretty negative and very often inaccurate and misleading mailers and ads.
You're saying potentially the ads that Larson put out were negative and they swayed the voter?
PolitiFact has said it. I'll leave it to them.
Now, Abley says his campaign for the general election starts in the morning. He says he will continue to tout his accomplishment and remain positive in this campaign. Reporting live from Abley's campaign headquarters, Jermont Terry, today's TMJ4.
All right, Jermont, yes, predicting a close race, but I don't think anyone thought the numbers would be this close. I want to send it now to Katie Crowther, who's been with Chris Larson's campaign. What are they saying over there, Katie?
It is a big night for State Senator Chris Larson, who had to be in Madison tonight because the Senate is in session. Larson now takes on Chris Abley in April's general election. Larson and his team are very determined to win the Milwaukee County executive seat. Larson's wife spoke here on his behalf tonight. She says this is just the beginning.
I mean, we just feel like there's so much momentum for this campaign. Really, it's all about neighbors talking to neighbors. And I think that we just really feel really humbled by the outpouring of support that we've had. We're ready. Tomorrow we'll hit the ground running. We'll continue to keep running. And we just really want to focus on running a positive campaign and a strong campaign.
And Larson says what happened here tonight shows that Milwaukee County voters do want change. And they say Larson is going to be the one for working families. Reporting live, Katie Crowther, today's TMJ4.
All right, Katie, thank you very much. Jermont alluded to this earlier. The stunner here in the county executive race is just how much Chris Abley spent of his own money on the campaign. He had put $2.75 million into his campaign to run this